Welcome into the Michigan Football Report. Ladies and gentlemen, the most watched Michigan football program on planet Earth. We've got 14 big-time football rumors for you today, Friday, the 24th of August, 8 days until Michigan heads to South Bend to take on Notre Dame in a battle of top 15 teams. Rumor number one, did Shea Patterson ask for permission? Did he contact Charles Woodson, Michigan's last Heisman Trophy winner from 21 years ago, to ask for the permission to wear the number 2? That is F-A-C-K. Absolutely did. Shea Patterson talked to some blog boys and big-time insiders like me yesterday at Schembechler Hall to say, hey, why'd you, they asked a lot of questions, but one of the things that came out of that was, the number 2, what it means to him. Did he have any consideration? Why did he switch to number 20? And basically what he said is he wanted to honor Charles Woodson from kind of the same area of the country where Shea grew up, just outside of Toledo, Ohio. Woodson from that area as well. And then he watched, obviously watched him growing up, watched his film at least growing up, and he wanted to call permission, make sure Woodson was okay with him wearing it. He said, my dad gave me his number, and I just thought, out of respect for the best player to ever have lived, to come through Michigan, to see if it was okay if I wore his number. Now, there's something that was revealed out of this is that Shea Patterson's dad actually coached Charles Woodson when Woodson was a younger athlete many years, obviously 20 plus years ago. So that was something interesting. Charles Woodson, friend of Chat Sports. Few know this, that Charles Woodson, myself, and Brett Favre hosted an immaculate Super Bowl party a couple years back. You may not know that. But in that sense, Charles Woodson gave Shea Patterson permission to wear the number 2, said you got to be a leader, you got to know what that means, you got to lead this team to victory. So that is a pretty interesting factoid that came out of Shea Patterson's media appearance yesterday. All right, do fans get to watch Michigan football practice? Well, finally, the submarine is emerging, and Michigan will show you what we've got 2 days from now on Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Michigan will open up the stadium free to all fans, F-A-C-K. You can come in and watch the Wolverines play. You might even get yourself a hug from a quarterback. You see Denard Robinson there jumping into the stands. Michigan football says Wolverines to hold open practice at Michigan Stadium Sunday at 6 p.m. Go Blue. It looks like it's only given for an hour, but they also had subsequent social media posts said that they will allow fans, kids, to come on the field afterwards. There'll be multiple photo opportunities throughout the stadium. It does not sound like there'll be any meet and greet with coaches and players like previous coaches had, most notably Lloyd Carr, Rich Rodriguez hosted those. That does not sound like that will happen here in this extravaganza this Sunday night. Is there a new Michigan football show? Maybe somebody can rival us in ratings. Well, FS1, Fox Sports 1, this Saturday, tomorrow, is going to host a 30-minute show called Maize and Blue, Michigan Football in France, a documentary-style show of the Michigan football trip to France, to Normandy, the beaches of Normandy that they went on at the end of April, right after spring practice this year, 2018. It'll air 3 p.m. Eastern. This Saturday, tomorrow. If you can't watch it, it's going to re-air about another 6-7 times over the next week leading up to the Notre Dame game. The 26th, we'll see it at 11:30 in the morning, 27th, 28th. So basically, it's on every single day from now until the 31st, until next Friday. So a week straight of this, various times. If you check out my Twitter account, at James T. Yoder, or the Michigan Football Twitter account, they listed the times, or just scroll through your DVR and take a look what time it'll play. It sure is a can't miss. And on next week's show, I'll give my take. I'll give a little review of it and let you know what I thought if you didn't get to see it. What are these Harbaugh-heads? I start off with all 4 Harbaugh-heads. There's a little bit of news I want to make sure I let you guys know. Some time-sensitive stuff. The stadium appearance, the show that's coming out tomorrow. 0 Harbaugh-heads. That means it's totally false. Fake news. 1 Harbaugh-head. Small shred of truth. 2 Harbaugh-heads. People are talking 50-50. It's out there. It's a rumor. 3 Harbaugh-heads means it's pretty likely. And if we give it the 4 Harbaugh-heads, ladies and gentlemen, that means it is F-A-C-K, fact. That is how Jim Harbaugh spells it. That is how we spell it here at Chat Sports, the Michigan Football Report. F-A-C-K shirts. The shirt, it's out there. Someone made it. Maybe we did. It's out there. You can buy this shirt. Looks like, what did we say it was, Brett? $19.99? $18.99. $18.99. The proceeds are going to me, and you can buy it today. F-A-C-K. Had to make a little joke out of that one. It's not just a shirt, as I'm laughing here. It's not just a shirt that says F-A-C-K. It's got the M emoji that a lot of the players, a lot of fans use on social media. And you flip around in the back, it gives the Michigan football facts. Why is it the greatest program in the world? So go ahead and get that shirt today. $18.99. It's the best deal you can get. You can wear it all over Michigan football games, watching at the bar, whatever you do this football season. All right, rumor number 4 is Michigan preparing for a mass exodus of players after the 2018 season? Are they recruiting as if there'll be a mass exodus? And I don't mean transfers. I don't mean disgruntled players. I am talking about, is Michigan ready to lose potentially more players to the NFL draft than any school ever has in history? I'm giving this one 3 Harbaugh-heads. It is pretty likely. And now, guys could decide to come back. They could decide they don't get the draft stock and the draft grade that they want. But I have as many as 10 players that if they have a good season, if they live up to their expectations, have a better season than last year, kind of play up a level, sophomore to junior, as many as 10 players that could leave Michigan after this season that are junior or redshirt junior eligibility. They have another year left with the program. So those players, I've got 4 on offense. You've got Shea Patterson, which is, I think, very likely with a good season. Chris Evans, more unlikely, but you can maybe potentially see him have a nice season, 600 yards rushing, 400 yards receiving, some other plays that get him in the conversation. And guys always don't leave. There was a year that LSU had like 13 players leave. 5 of them or something like that didn't even get drafted. So won't be surprised if Evans left if he had a good season. Zach Gentry, a redshirt junior tight end, if he is the kind of season that Jake Butt had in 2015, could he go pro, be a 2nd or 3rd round pick? Ben Bredesen, Michigan's 3-year starter offensive guard now coming into 2018. He is listed as one of the better offensive guards in the country as far as the draft projections go. Now, that's 4 guys who are slated to be starters on off. Well, I should say not even starters. Chris Evans is a backup running back, kind of the 1B to Karan Hayden. Take it over to the defense. 6 guys. Now, 4 of them are much more likely than the other 2, but we've got 6 players that are potentially could leave after this year, get drafted in the first 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds if they decide that they want to move on from Michigan. Rashawn Gary, an almost surefire lock for a top 10 pick, is sitting there at the top of that list. Then you've got other players. You've got Khaleke Hudson. You've got Devin Bush, who are both candidates to be All-Americans this year. Devin Bush was an All-American last year. All 3 of those players of that 2016 Michigan football recruiting class. I would not be surprised if any of these guys go. So we've already into this, 7 to 10. I think 4 are more likely than not to go pro. And then this last one, I think all these guys potentially could come back. You've got Laverne Hill, who I think is probably the most likely out of this last 3. You've got David Long, the cornerback duo, all from the 2016 class. Josh Metellus, the safety, I think he is the least likely, probably of all these players, even Chris Evans, even Zach Gentry. I think Metellus is the least likely. But first half of the year last year, Michigan fans would have said, hey, Metellus having a hell of a year. It was into the back half of 2018 that he started to struggle. People maybe say, well, he's not a big-time player. He's not an all-big-time player. If they had 10 guys leave, and if they were all drafted, that would be a record. It has never happened that many players have left early for a school and have been drafted. We show you here on screen. The record is 8. Ohio State 2 years ago, it'll be 3 years by the time we get to this draft. After that 2015 team, a year after the national championship, guys like Zeke Elliott, Joey Bosa at the top of that draft. 7 players who left and were drafted. Now, the record is LSU. They had 13 in 2013, 13 guys leaving 13. 5 of them weren't drafted, though, so it's not always a guarantee if you leave early if you will be drafted. Clemson, also in 2016, had that same number as Ohio State. So it is possible that Michigan is sitting on maybe one of the greatest wealths of junior class talents in modern college football history, should these guys have the year that many people think they will, and then, of course, decide to go and leave for the draft. So I want to know from you guys, how many people, how many players, put it in the comments right now, how many will leave and take their talents to the NFL after this season? I'm talking about junior or redshirt junior eligible players that could come back for 2019. Put your decision, your number in comments. I think it's going to be 4 or 5 guys. I really do, and it potentially could be more depending on how that offense gels. I think it'll be at least 4 on defense and maybe 5, maybe 2, 3 on offense to get you into that 6, 7 range and go from there. All right, want to give a shout out to our sponsor, BetDSI. You've heard me talk about them in the last couple shows. I implore you, if you're going to bet on football this year, go to BetDSI. They've given us a special Michigan promo code that only Michigan football fans can use. Go Blue. You deposit $100, you get $120 in free cash. You buy it for $50, you get $60 in cash. You can go up to $500, get $600 in free cash. There are some amazing Michigan odds you can bet on, things like how many games they're going to win, Shea Patterson for Heisman, really long odds. You can make some big time cash if it takes place. So go check them out, chatsports.com/bet. Promo code GOBLUE, that's chatsports.com/bet, will redirect you right to BetDSI to get going with that 120% promo code. Next rumor up, Quinn Nordine. Is he struggling? Is he having a tough time this year? This one is gearing towards that pretty likely, actually. I think this is something to be really concerned about. 3 Harbaugh heads on this one for Quinn Nordine, Michigan's redshirt sophomore kicker. Kind of came out of nowhere last year with a couple 50-ish yarders in the Florida game in Dallas last year to start that season. Always, will be linked to Jim Harbaugh in many ways, most notably that Harbaugh slept over his house when he was a recruit that got a lot of national scrutiny. But Nordine is struggling. He is not hitting his field goals. He's having trouble from deep is what I've been told, and Michigan is exploring other options, and we'll talk about potentially another rumor coming up here in a moment about Quinn Nordine, but keep an eye out for this one. If this Notre Dame game is closer than I actually expected, I think Michigan should win by a couple scores, but if it's not close, will a couple errant field goals by Quinn Nordine, if they decide to go with him, if he can't get it going, will that cost them a game? Will Jim Harbaugh start the year on the road, the second time in his 4 seasons, with a loss, kind of looking down the the barrel of a gun, one more loss and you out of the potential playoff picture? So that isn't something to keep an eye on. Leads us right into rumor number 6. Because he's struggling from righty, and this is kind of a wacky rumor. I got this off one of these message boards, MGO something, I don't even remember what they're called, but is Nordine kicking lefty? And hey, he's not too bad at kicking lefty. So I think we gave this one a 2 Harbaugh heads because people actually are talking, but without any double confirmation, I did hear about this from somebody else too, and it kind of alerted me to what was being said. If I don't hear anything more on this, I'm probably never going to bring it up, but there's no way Michigan puts him in the game kicking lefty. But I was told, hey, he's joking around about it at least. He's kicked some lefty, and what a source told me was, hey, he's not too bad at lefty, but there's no way they're going to switch him up and put him in the game as a lefty. But just something I thought was a little amusing. All the people looking at all kinds of information, and maybe there's something that snuck out that Michigan was trying, or at least he was joking around with in practice throughout the fall camp. I'm sure it wasn't a real live kind of game style action, but that is the story on Quinn Nordine. Rumor number 7. Is Michigan considering a no-huddle offense, at least to start the game, versus Notre Dame? And this is another I'm calling this one a James Yoder exclusive. No one's reported this yet, so on Monday, just like the last 3 Mondays, when all the pay sites and blog boys start putting this out there, hey, Michigan's going to go no-huddle against Notre Dame, just remember who told you about it first. So the word in the streets is 3 Harbaugh heads on this one, that Michigan is considering, and I'm not giving it 4 Harbaugh heads yet because I haven't heard that they are definitely implementing. I am heard they are practicing a set that they could start off against Notre Dame, catch Notre Dame off guard the first few series with a shotgun set where they are going no huddle and hurry up, rushing to the line, going no huddle, having 5 or 6 scripted plays for Shea that he can even call on the line if he sees an alignment that he needs. And I have been told that this offense is 3 wide receivers plus Zach Gentry and rotating in and out Karan Higdon and Chris Evans if they were to get an incomplete pass or an out of bounds play. That Evans and Higdon are interchangeable in this offense, but that offense does include Donovan Peoples-Jones at the slot and not at the outside position. Now, Michigan has not been known for their fast play under Jim Harbaugh. We see him 80th in the country in 2018 in plays per game. 2016, that was a much better, more of an efficient offense, at least with winning the great defense, scored 50 points a game for the first half of the year, 52nd, and then last year, on a nearly atrocious plays per game, 89th in the country. So Jim Harbaugh has shown no ability to put together a fast-paced offense, but they're at least trying it. If I get word that they're going to do it for sure, I will definitely tell you about it as we preview the Notre Dame game next week here on the Michigan Football Report. We're going to plug the YouTube channel. We've got a new YouTube channel. I want to tell you guys about it. People have said, I love your shows, but there's all these other shows, Cam Rogers show and NBA. I don't know if I want that stuff from Chat Sports on YouTube. So we're going to build our own channel, chatsports.com/MichiganTV. You go there, drops you right on the YouTube channel. There's no subscribers yet, so you can be the first one to be a subscriber. We're going to try and build that bad boy up. We're going to put some exclusive content on there. Go to that page right now, chatsports.com/MichiganTV. It'll drop you right on the new Michigan Football Report YouTube channel. It'll be Michigan football content only. Rumor number 8 has John Runyan locked up left tackle. Locked it up. Is he the starter? That's what some of the blog boys are saying. I am giving it 1 Harbaugh head. Now, I have been saying for weeks that it's going to be James Hudson at left tackle. Now, they switched some things up. I don't believe Hudson is in contention for left tackle anymore. I actually think he's competing for right tackle, opening up the spot potential for Runyan to switch from right tackle over to left tackle. Maybe even Jalen Mayfield if they decide that's a better opportunity for the Michigan offensive line this year. But by no means has Runyan locked it up. By no means is he a starter yet. I think by the end of the year, it's going to be Mayfield. It's going to be Hudson at the 2 tackle spots. Now, they may put Runyan in for a few games to start the year, but I ultimately don't think he has shown enough in his 3 years at Michigan, going into his 4th year redshirt junior, to lock up a starting spot. And I do think James Hudson is going to ultimately overtake him for one of those tackle spots, and Mayfield will be in there. If it's not the first game like I've been predicting for weeks, it will be within the first few games of the season. Those will be your tackles. So don't buy any of these reports that say that the offensive line is set and that John Runyan Jr. has taken one of the positions, specifically the left tackle. One Harbaugh head on that. All right. Peters is the backup. I put that on my most recent depth chart, but is McCaffrey the future, right? I actually really want to talk about this one. 3 Harbaugh heads. I'm not going to guarantee it. Anything can happen at this point. But Peters is going to go into the Notre Dame game as your backup quarterback. But there are some around the program that I've spoken to in the last week that said, look, he's got a few starts under his game. He almost won versus Wisconsin. He had a couple nice games here and there, but he's never going to be the starter here. If Shea Patterson leaves after this year, it's going to be Dylan McCaffrey next year. Maybe Joe Milton. Should Milton have a nice next year from coming into as a true freshman and beyond. But right now, if Shea Patterson were out of the game, they would likely put Brandon Peters in the game because he has the in-game experience. They don't want to go throw somebody out there, just fresh. But long term, is it Peters? If he's number 2 now, does that mean he's number 1 when Shea Patterson leaves? I am thinking that's less and less likely, and that the coaching staff is kind of hanging their future on Dylan McCaffrey, and then of course Joe Milton, depending on how he projects in the future. But don't take Brandon Peters being the number 2 as he's going to be the starter after Shea Patterson. I do not think that is true. I actually think it'll be Dylan McCaffrey or Joe Milton after Patterson moves on. On to rumor number 10. We got 5 to go. Josh Uche, is he locked up a starting linebacker spot? Giving this one 3 Harbaugh heads. We all know Michigan is only replacing 2 guys on defense, a defensive tackle and then a linebacker to replace Mike McCray. Josh Uche is a guy, 3 Harbaugh heads, near lock to start at that linebacker spot. Really overtaking guys in that 2017 class that Michigan had 4 big-time linebackers that came in, 4 high 4-star, 5-star guys like Jordan Anthony, all competed for this job, all trying to get their place in the field with the Michigan football team as a starter this year. But it sounds like it's going to be Josh Uche along with some other players. That will be your starting defense. Uche filling in that spot left by Mike McCray. So keep an eye out for him. He's going to be a new name, a new face in the field that you probably never really even heard of before the Notre Dame game. All right, rumor number 11. This base set on shotgun, what about Nico, Oliver Martin? What about all these other players? Grant Perry? No, the base set, I give this one 3 Harbaugh heads, I believe. Yes, 3 Harbaugh heads base set on the shotgun set. Michigan, I've told you, 50% of the snaps, at least to start the year, are going to be taken out of the shotgun set. And when they do that, that base set does not include Grant Perry. That set does not include Oliver Martin at the slot. It actually includes Donovan Peoples-Jones at the slot, and Nico Collins is getting kicked out to the wide receiver in that, and that'll be the set that Michigan runs out of if they are running a shotgun set, specifically a high-paced offense, a no-huddle offense to start the game against Notre Dame. So I'm not going to say Donovan Peoples-Jones is the starting slot, but I am saying when they run this 50% off shotgun slot, their base slot includes Collins, Black, and then Donovan Peoples-Jones at your slot. So keep an eye out for that as we go through the rest of the spring. All right, going to burn through some more of these final rumors. Do we have a Brad Hawkins sighting in the starting lineup? Well, not yet, but he is right there to start. I've been telling you this for weeks. It's FACK. He is competing for both starting jobs on the safety spot. Obviously, we know that Michigan has struggled at safety for probably 12 years or so since Ernest Shazer left the program. Brad Hawkins came in 3 years ago as a wide receiver, didn't qualify, went back to prep school, came to Michigan last year, switched positions to safety, best cover guy at safety, a ball hawk, a big-time hitter, can play the ball. He is right there. He is definitely your third safety, your best backup, but we will see how this one progresses, but he is right there. He could overtake a starting spot of Tyree Kinnell, Josh Metellus. You never know. Keep an eye out for that one as we go through these next 8 days and Michigan football leading into the Notre Dame game. I want to ask you guys a question. Would you bet money that Michigan goes 10-2 or better this season. And the reason I ask is because the sports books think Michigan's going to lose 3 games. That's what they think. Y'all know we're working with BetDSI this year. They're our gaming sponsor for the 2018 season. You can get a promo code. You get free cash, chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code GOBLUE for 120% cash deposit. But look at these odds. 9.5 is the over-under. But if you bet the under, you bet $100, you win 69. That means that they want you to do that one. That would be preferred on their end. If you bet over 100, you get more money. So that means they're saying that is less likely in their odds. Under 9 wins is more likely. So is Michigan going to lose more than 2 games? Are they? I don't think so. So I'm going to bet DSI, putting some big money on Michigan go over. I'm putting $100. I'm going to win 115. So go check them out. Use promo code GOBLUE. If you do, send me a DM on Twitter, DM this page on Facebook, put in the comments on YouTube what your Twitter handle, whatever it is. I just send you some bet DSI swag. They asked me what number jersey I wanted. They sent me a number 2 jersey. You know, we all know why I got the number 2 jersey. So I'm gonna start sending some stuff out. Might get a thing of Michigan swag I send to you. Send me a DM when you sign up with BetDSI. Screenshot when you use promo code GOBLUE. Go ahead and put some money on Michigan over 9.5 wins. I think it's gonna happen. I think it is. It's near lock, of course. That's what I think. I would say FACK on that one. All right, Jim Harbaugh to the Dolphins. 2019, there was an article I got sent to me a couple days ago that Harbaugh to the Dolphins, maybe it's going to happen. Maybe they're going to fire their coach, and of course Stephen Ross, the owner. Fake news, ladies and gentlemen. There's no way this is happening, and the reason I know about it, if you watch this show, I told you a few weeks back that I talked to some people who worked directly for Stephen Ross a couple years back, 4 years back actually, before Jim Harbaugh even took the job at the University of Michigan. And I asked him about, hey, is Stephen Ross going to go after Harbaugh? Looks like things are a little murky in San Francisco. And he said he's already tried that. He tried it a few years back. If Harbaugh leaves the 49ers, he's only going to one place, and that's Michigan. So if you hear this, if anyone says out there that Jim Harbaugh is leaving for the NFL, it could happen. You never know. But it's definitely not going to happen for the Miami Dolphins. Stephen Ross is not going to ruin his reputation with Michigan alumni and fans by stealing away their football coach unless there's some unforeseen reason why he needs to leave. It's a terrible season. Doubtful to happen, but that is being put out there. Saw an article this week, so I want to make sure I address it to you because things get shared on Facebook. People don't know what's true, what's not true. You're getting the truth here from the Michigan Football Report, fair and balanced truth. That is fake news. All right, rumor number 14. This is our last rumor in this week's Michigan Football Report. Are these sports bettors, are they liking Notre Dame in the Michigan-Notre Dame game? And this one, we're going to call it people are talking to Harbaugh-heads because people are talking, and those people are the sports bettors. So the line has actually come down. It previously was 2.5 points. 6 months ago, it was 6 points in Notre Dame's favor. It kept creeping up. Shea Patterson gets eligibility. It pops up to Michigan 2.5, but just in the past week, the line has actually dropped from 2.5 points down to Michigan favor by 1.5 points, even after Shea Patterson was announced the starter. And so what that means is I believe the money is coming in a little heavier on Notre Dame. Michigan hasn't won a road game against a top 25 team in 11 seasons. It'll be 12 seasons at the time when they step on the field in South Bend 8 days from now. If you think Michigan's going to beat Notre Dame, the point spread is 1.5. I want you to comment below, Facebook Live, YouTube, Chat Sports channel on YouTube. Let me know, can Michigan cover that spread? Will they win by 2 points or more? If so, you should put some money on it with BetDSI. Promo code GOBLUE. You go to chatsports.com/bet to get started with BetDSI. I just find it fun when I watch a game to have something else on the line. Michigan football, of course, I want to have fun to see them win. I also want to win some money. But if you watch other college football games, put a little cash, $10, $20, doesn't matter. Promo code GOBLUE gets you 120% cash bonus on your first deposit. All right, want to kind of toss us over to this other screen here about Michigan's points against Notre Dame. I wanted to show you the last 3 games, not looking promising, at least as far as I'm concerned, with Michigan scoring a ton of points, because their last 2 games at Notre Dame, by the way, scored 6 points combined. Obviously, you have to go back to 2010 before they scored over a touchdown in a single game, or at least a touchdown at all. So it has been a while since Michigan has put up any points at Notre Dame. But I just wanted to point that out, show you guys before you make that bet, make sure you have the facts. A shout out to Mizzen and Maine. They are dressing me for every show here in the Michigan Football Report. Go check them out, www.comfortable.af. Give these performance fabric shirts that are comfortable as heck. I wear them to the gym and to the office. Buy one today. Comfortable.af is the website because these shirts are comfortable as F. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter at James T. Yoder, and I will see you then.